Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be moving into factoring. So we're going to start with greatest common factor. We'll be doing factoring this whole week and the week after spring break. So just bear with me. It is going to be kind of repetitive at times, but it's all for the cause. Okay, so greatest common factor or GCF. Here are your steps. I would definitely pause the video and write these down. Take the GCF of the coefficients or numbers first. Look for a common variable between all the terms. Remember, terms are separated by addition or subtraction signs. So you're looking for a number or letter that fits into all of them. In case you're not sure what a factor is, factors are numbers that multiply to give you a number, okay? Or letters that multiply to give you a letter. Look at the smallest exponent on the variable. That's how you know how many to take out, which we're going to talk about in this video. So it's okay if you're a little confused. Always put the GCF out front. This is something that should be common knowledge, but right now it'll be like, oh, okay, I'll remember that. But then once we get into more intense factoring, you may forget to put it out front every single time. And it's just one of those really easy mistakes to make. So definitely keep that in the back of your mind. Like, always put this out front. If you take something out, it doesn't just disappear. It goes to the front, okay? So first, what is the GCF for 12 and 6? How do we find GCFs? Well, we can create a table and then we can, so let's create a table. So here's the table for both 12 and 6. So my factors of 12 are 12 times 1, 6 times 2, 4 times 3. My factors of 6 are 6 times 1 and 3 times 2. So we are looking at the greatest common factor. Now, I want you to notice a factor that all of these have, or that both lists have, 1, 2, 3, they both have those factors. So we could take out those factors, but the biggest factor that they both have in common is 6. So just 6 and 6. So that means our GCF is 6. We really want to take out the greatest common factor so that we know that we're done. I will tell you, it's okay if you take out small factors at a time, as long as you're taking out all of the factors. I know a ton of people that always miss the factors because they just, like, they take out a small one at first thinking that's the greatest common factor, and then they don't continue on. So just make sure you're doing that and you should be fine. Okay, so our examples, example 1, 3a squared plus 6, random arrow there. 3a squared plus 6, so we're gonna put a division sign. I know the GCF of 3 and 6 is 3, so I'm gonna divide by 3. You can also think of this as undistributing. So what did I distribute to get to this problem? I distributed a 3. Where does that 3 go now? It follows this arrow and it goes to the outside of the parentheses. Once I do that, I am taking each term, so anything separated by an addition or subtraction sign, and I'm dividing it. So 3a squared divided by 3 would be 1a squared. 6 divided by 3 would be 2. So we're going to write 3, and then we're left with a squared plus 2. Now, a squared and 2 have nothing in common. They don't have any common variables. They don't have any common factors. So that's it. That's our answer. That is what we're doing here. We are undistributing. So we're taking out whatever we multiplied and just rewriting the original problem. Okay? We do use factoring to find solutions for quadratics later on, but that'll be next unit, probably in April. So right now we're just factoring. You will also see problems that tell you to divide, like they'll just give you that 3a squared plus 6 divided by 3, and they'll just say divide. So a squared plus 2. You just see what they're asking you for. Okay, so 6x4 minus 8x squared, so we're going to step it up a little bit. So first thing, and before I continue, let me preface by saying, if you can spot the the whole GCF at the beginning, you can take it all out in one step. I'm doing this step by step so you can see what exactly I'm taking out. And some of you may not catch on and you may have to do each step individually. That's okay. So 6x4 minus 8x squared. First, we're going to look at those coefficients. They're both even. Since both numbers are even, 2 is automatically a factor. So I take out a 2. I am going to put it out front. So 2, what am I left with? 6x4 divided by 2 is 3. Negative 8x squared divided by 2 is negative 4x squared. So this is what I'm left with. Okay, so now we are going to look at the letters, at the variables. So they both have x's. I see that this 3 has 4 x's, and I see that this negative 4 has 2 x's. So how many x's do they have in common? They have 2 x's. So I could actually x times x or x squared. So what did I do? I looked at my smallest exponent, which is x squared, and I just took that out. That's all we did. So remember, law of exponents tells us to subtract exponents when we are dividing. So x4, and we listed out that I had 4 x's and 2 x's. I'm literally taking out 2 x's from both. So x4 divided by x2 would be x2, and x2 divided by x2 is nothing. And that x squared is actually going to join my friend 2 out front, because now they're best friends. So 2x squared. In parentheses, I am left with 3x squared minus 4. Now, if I look, 3 is prime, 4 has a factor of 4, 1, 2, and 2, so that's it. Even if I took out the factor of 1, it really wouldn't change anything. I would just be consistently dividing, and I don't have time for that. And they don't have any common letters anymore, so that's it. That's my answer, 2x squared, parentheses, 3x squared minus 4, and that is your whole answer. 2x squared, parentheses, 3x squared minus 4. Now, if you are just being asked for the GCF, the greatest common factor, 2x squared would be your answer. That's all they want. So the question is going to say simplify, or it's going to say factor, or what is a GCF? One of those two. So just look at what they're asking, and that's it. Okay, so let's kind of step it up a little more, and this will be our last example. So 24x squared y minus 44xy squared minus 4xy. So let's write this out. Okay, again, I'm just going to say I'm not confident in my factoring skills. I can see 24, 44, and 4. Yes, I know the GCF. However, I'm going to say they're all even, so I'm going to take out a 2. Okay, because that just seems a little easier for me. It's going to make those numbers small enough that I can work with them easier. Okay, like I said at the beginning, if you can take everything out all at once, go for it. This is just step by step so that people who don't understand it can understand. Okay, so where is that 2 going? It's going out front. And what am I left with? Remember, I'm taking all my coefficients. So 24 divided by 2, 44 divided by 2, 4 divided by 2. I should get 12, 22, and 2. So 12x squared y minus 22xy squared minus 2xy. Okay, we're going to look at letters now before we get back to the numbers, because I do want to show you something. So first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the x's. So I can see that first term has 2 x's, the second term has 1 x, and the third term has 1 x. So the most x's I can take out are 1 x. So let's go ahead and take out 1 x. And where does that go? It goes out front. Oh, I got ahead of myself. I took it out early. Okay, so once I do that, I am going to be left with 12xy because we took 1 out, negative 22y squared because I took out that x, and negative 2y because I took out that x. And I didn't scoop my stuff, which is fine. Okay, so again, now what am I taking out? I'm going to take out the y. I can see the first term has 1y, second term has 2 y's, and the third term has 1 y. I only want to take out 1. That's all I can take out. I can't be greedy. I can't take out every single one. I can only take out what they all have. So I'm going to take out a y. Again, disappearing act. It's going to go out front with 2 and x. Now they're all best friends. Best friends. Okay, so 12xy divided by y would just be 12x. Negative 22y squared divided by y is just negative 22y. Negative 2y divided by y is negative 2. So now I am looking and I can see all my numbers are still even, which means I still have a factor. I have the factor of 2. So I'm going to take out a 2. Now, when I put it out front, we can see I have 2xy. How are those connected out front? They don't have a sign, so they're connected through multiplication. So when I take something out, I multiply it to whatever is out front. So if I take out a 2, I'm going to multiply it to that other 2, and I'm actually going to end up with a 4. So I get 4xy. Okay, and then I'm going to simplify. 12 divided by 2, 6. 22 divided by 2, 11. 2 divided by 2 is 1. That negative 2 divided by 2, biggest mistake that I've seen people make. They will just put 6x minus 11y and leave the problem. Like, you cannot just take things off. If there was an addition or subtraction sign, you've got to fill it. You can't just say, okay, buddy, you're good to go today. You're gone. Like, there's still a 1 there. Okay, so that would be my answer. And that's pretty much it for greatest common factor factoring. You're going to practice this the rest of today and tomorrow, just because I really want to make sure you're understanding where we're going with this. On Wednesday, we'll do a new topic, more factoring. Thursday, we'll practice. And on Friday, you're going to have a quiz. So stay ready for that. Bye, guys.